In this section, I'm going to look at font formatting or text formatting. So again, I'm going to use this little trick we saw on the previous chapter. Type in, well, open in your document first, then type in equals rand, open brackets, 9,6, then close brackets. So just simply type it in as I've done. So when you press the Enter key, that'll be translated into 9 paragraphs, each of which has 6 sentences within the paragraph. So that just gives us some sample text we can play with. Now the first thing we're going to look at is font type. Now remember the structure of Word, you've got these tabs here, and if you want to adjust the font, it's under the Home tab, and you've got various items within here. So let's go and look at these. Now remember with font formatting, you have to select something first. So I'm just going to double click on the word video here, and if I want that in a different font, I can click on the down arrow here and basically select the font type I want. So let's say I wanted that one there. That's how it would be applied. Remember you've got an undo button up here, so you can always undo it. Do you remember if you double click here in this little area here, that selects the entire paragraph? So let's try applying a different font to the entire paragraph here. Let's go for maybe that one there so it kind of stands out. So I click here and there you are. Click outside it and it's deselected. So that's how you apply a different type of font. Now the next item here is the font size. So let's double click here to select this entire paragraph, and if you wanted to change the font size, then you can click on this down arrow here and select whatever you want, and you don't actually have to click on it, you can just move up and down to see a preview of how that's going to look. So if you wanted that at say 14 points, you click there and that's now set at 14 points. Click outside it so you can see it more easily, and if you didn't like that, remember there's an undo key there so you can always go back. So let's go and change that for something else. Let's go for a smaller font, maybe an 8-point font, and obviously that's a lot smaller, quite hard to read in fact. So we'll click on the undo, that wasn't so great. If you want to, you can type in the number directly here, like say you want a 30-point font, or sorry, 30-point font like so, you just type it in, press return, and away you go. That's way too big. So I'll double click there, and I'll undo that and take it back to where I was. So that's how you can change the font type and the font size. If you like keyboard shortcuts, you can select this first paragraph here, and if I press Control close square brackets, each time I press Control square brackets, that means pressing down the Control key and holding it down, and then repeatedly clicking on the close square brackets. Each time I do that, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. If I do the same thing but using the open square brackets, that makes it smaller on each click. So what I'm doing here is holding down the Control key, and in this case pressing the open square brackets, and as you can see on each click it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So if I want to reverse that, I press Control close square brackets, and there you go, it's whatever size you want it to be. So that's a nice little shortcut I tend to use a lot. Something else you can do, let's double click on this. You've got these things here, so this makes it larger and this makes it smaller. So as you can see in Microsoft Word, there's always many different ways of doing whatever you want to do, and it's up to you. Just choose the method that you feel happy with. If I want to delete this first paragraph, I can just simply select it and press the delete key, and there you are, it's gone. Now let's select this first paragraph. Let's say I want to change the case within here. If I click on the down arrow, I can have it sentence case, which is like the default, or I can click on lowercase, in which everything, including the first letter of the paragraph here, that's all lowercase. If I go back here, you can have all in uppercase, like so. Over here I can capitalize each word. So basically each word starts with a capital letter now. If I go back here, you can toggle the case. That looks a bit strange. Or if you want to, you can say, let's just go back to sentence case, and there we are, back to where we were. What else can you do? Well, double click here to select the entire paragraph. Obviously you can click on B for bold, makes it bold, click again, takes it off. Italics, on, off. Underline, on, off. Or you can combine them, you can have bold and italic if you want to. Or just click there again, take it off, and again to take it off. This one here just applies a strike through to whatever's been selected, in this case the entire paragraph. Click again to turn it off. This one here is quite useful, it changes the font color. So we've selected this first paragraph. If I click on the down arrow, I can select maybe a red color or maybe a blue color. Let's go for the red one. So I'll click there, click outside it, and you can see that's been selected. Always remember, if you don't like it, you can press on the undo key here, so you can press on that or click here to reapply it. So always remember, you've got undo and redo, and that records multiple levels as well, so you can go back a few stages. So if I click on undo again and again and again and again, as you can see, or indeed reverse that effect, so we go back to where we started. There we are, back with red text again. Let's say you want to select this second paragraph here. This one here will give you a text highlighter color, so you can click on that, and that's like using a highlighter pen. If you double click on it and want a different color, maybe a green color, that's how you do it. There are other things you can do which apparently look difficult but actually very easy. Let me just quickly show you. I've just typed in Einstein's famous equation here, E equals mc squared, and I also type in H2O, the chemical equation for water. With Einstein's equation, it should be E equals mc, and the squared should be moved up. It should be what's called superscript. So if I select the two, because always remember, select, then manipulate. That's the golden rule for font formatting. So if I select the two, and then click on this item here, which is superscript, there you go, that was easy. So we've now got E equals mc squared. H2O, the 2 is normally dropped down. So if I select it, remember, select, manipulate. Then in this case, I want a subscript, click here, and there we go. So even something that looks apparently complicated like this is actually very, very easy. You just got to remember a few basic principles, the first of which is select, manipulate, and then apply formatting to the selected text. You manipulate the text. Now next we're going to look at quite a cool little feature. I've gone to the trouble here of applying formatting to this paragraph here in green, and while we're at it, we'll also make it bold and italic, and in fact we'll use a different font altogether, so we'll go for something like that. So basically I've gone to the trouble of formatting this paragraph in some way. Now let's say I wanted this paragraph down here to have the same sort of formatting. I could think, okay, what did I do to get this one, and go through all the steps. But an easier way is this. If I just double click on a little bit of this paragraph here to select it, I then go to where it says Format Painter. Can you see that over here under the Home tab? Now, you see the pointer changes to this little paint icon. If I just drag across another paragraph, that was cool. So let's go and change this one, and we'll make that a yellow background just to illustrate again. So how did I do that? I double click on any word within here just so it can pick up the formatting from something. I then go to where it says Format Painter, click on that, and now you'll notice that the mouse pointer has got a little paintbrush attached to it. So I just drag that across something, maybe just this area here, and when I let go of the mouse button, there you go. And then the cursor is returned to normal. Now in the last example, it just simply did one format paste. You can use multiple format pastes. What I mean by that is, let's say you wanted to apply this green formatting to say this paragraph and this one. What I'd do is I'll double click here, and instead of doing a single click, I'll double click on where it said Format Painter. And now what happens is I could drag across an area here, and you'll notice that as I move down, the paintbrush is still attached. Can you see that? And it stays attached, allowing me to do multiple format pasting. And if I want to get rid of it, I just press the escape key, then it goes back to normal. So that's how you can sort of use the Format Painter on multiple paragraphs doing multiple pastes, if you like.